Hey everyone, it's Mari. I'm back with another episode for Tried, Trendy, and True here on Scrapbook Cards Today Magazine. Today I'm going to be using the true technique of using a sketch, and I'm going to be using this really gorgeous page map sketch today for my 8.5 by 11 scrapbooking page. So here you can see the scrapbooking design that's on this sketch. Love the use of these two 4x3 photographs, and I have picked out a couple of photos. I've printed them out, and I've also chosen the Simple Stories Cozy Days collection to use today. It just really goes well with these photographs I'm showing you here, which just have really beautiful soft fall hues. And this collection is absolutely just perfect, and so wanted to use this today. I'm also going to be using a piece of Gina K faded brick cardstock, and here I'm going to be showing you just a few of the Simple Stories Cozy Days bits that I'm going to be using, including some of the die cuts from the die cut pack, a couple of stickers from the sticker sheet here. I'm just showing you the 12x12 sticker sheet from that collection. And I am also going to work in a couple of these foam thickers that are so awesome and a companion, a coordinating element with that Cozy Days collection. So I'm just about ready here to go ahead and get started. I do want to show you here, I am going to save my faded brick. I don't really want to use the entire sheet. So what I did was I went into my stash and I found some cardstock that I had like tons of to use up. And so this kind of green colored cardstock is actually going to be my base. You won't actually see any of that color, but it will help me to preserve using all of that sheet of faded brick. I'm only going to use a little strip for the top and bottom and another little wee bit for a scallop strip that I'm going to be cutting for my project here. So I'm just showing you, I printed this page map sketch out on my printer so that the dimensions are 100% accurate for my layout. So I just measured to see what the width of that strip is for the top and the bottom, and went ahead and cut that at those widths. I think the top is about 2.25, 2.5, something like that, and the bottom strip is about 2 inches. So I've got those trimmed up now, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere those down to my base cardstock here. So I've got that all adhered, and now I do want to also use this really beautiful floral paper. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this off and get that cut as well with my trimmer. So I'll just use my ruler here and my pencil. Just going to make a slight little mark here in a couple of spots and get that all ready to go. Take that to my trimmer. I've got that all trimmed up, and I also trimmed up that plaid paper as well. A strip down below, I'm going to place my photos onto another piece of cardstock. This is just a really pretty kind of like a fall autumny orange color that just really coordinates nicely with the colors that are in that Simple Stories paper, the floral paper that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to adhere these down, and then I'll take these over to my trimmer, and I will go ahead and get those all trimmed out and matted, so that I've just got that really nice slim mat around the edge. Now I'm going to take this scallop border punch, and I'm going to cut a strip from my faded brick paper, and also another one from this really pretty kind of mustard colored cardstock. And so I'm going to use these two scallop strips to create the little embellishment above and below that floral paper, which is suggested on this sketch. So I'm going to use the mustard colored one at the top against that faded brick, and then I'll use the faded brick against that plaid down below. And you can see how that just adds a really pretty embellishment on the layout, just adds a little bit of detail. And here you can see my photos are all matted and ready to go. Now I did take some dies from My Favorite Things. They're just like a really nice little tag stitched die. And I have cut that from a piece of kind of vanilla colored cardstock. Now I'm taking my We Are Memory Keepers reinforcement punch, and I'm cutting out a reinforcement for my tag out of that mustard color paper. Go ahead and get that stuck down on my tag, and I will take my hole punch and create a hole in that little tag as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that hole punched. And that tag will be all ready to go. So now I'm just taking a look here, just kind of getting everything lined up. and I'm going to start thinking about the embellishments that I want to use. So I went through the die cut pack from the Cozy Days collection and chose out some of the die cut pieces. And once again, I've got that, I've got the sketch to the right there guiding me where I want to put things. And of course, making it my own as I go and creating just the different little embellishment cluster areas here on my layout that are going to match up nicely and coordinate with the pattern papers and the colors and everything that I have going on. Now I'm taking a notebook punch here for my stash. I've taken one of the 6x6 papers from Cozy Days. That's actually from my fall sampler. And I'm just going to stick that up at the top there. And I did punch or die cut another tag from that plaid paper and put that up at the top there as well. So you can see the different little cluster areas starting to form. There's one over by that tag to the right of the photos, one at the top, and then one in between the photos there at the bottom. And now I can just sort of go through and have fun placing the different little embellishment pieces that I think I might want to use in these different areas. So just, maybe going to use that little banner that says happy fall and so on, and just kind of trying to decide which ones I want to use, which ones are going to coordinate the best according to my eye. And I'm going to pop up the photo on the right with a little bit of 3L foam adhesive squares here. And I just love how that other photo is on that angle in the photo, and I decided to keep it like that. I just thought it looked really interesting. Now I'm going to use one of these little tab stickers from that sticker sheet, and I'm going to put that down here on my tag. Just going to make sure that's straight. That's going to add a little bit of detail to that tag area. And I've also added some sewing machine stitching on my layout as well, on that plaid paper at the bottom and also on the floral paper at the top, just to add a little bit more texture. And here you can see I've popped up that little happy fall banner, and I'm going to put that there in that tag area, and that's just going to help complete that area as well. So I'm just getting that stuck down. And now I'm going to go ahead and start working on some of the other embellishments. I wanted to use one of those little foam thicker florals down by those photos there instead of the die cut embellishments. I just thought it was a little bit more dimensional, and so I went ahead and put that floral piece there, and then I'm going to just use some of the little die cut leaves in that area as well. Now I took my ruler and I drew on some lines for my journaling, and I'm just going to go ahead and add some hand journaling there, and my layout is finished. Oh yes, and I also added some twine at the top there that you can see at the top of the floral paper. So I really loved working with this sketch today, and I love working with sketches in general. The page map sketches are always awesome, and they're fantastic. Really fantastic inspiration for any project. So thanks so much for joining me today for another episode of Tried, Trendy, and True. Hope to see you again here next time on the channel. Bye-bye.